Time now for today's Focus Report. It takes a closer look at President Xi Jinping in China. 6 years after taking over the world's most populous country, he's now changed the rules so that he can serve indefinitely as president. Despite never giving interviews, the Chinese press runs regular front-page stories on him. In fact, as our reporters show us, he is omnipresent and at home overall ultra-popular, seen as the man to combat corruption. But he's also one of the most authoritarian leaders in power today. Sarah O'Mara and Antoine Vidaillet send us this report.
A friendly-looking man with the assurance of someone who knows he is untouchable. Xi Jinping walks towards unlimited and unrestricted power. The 3,000 Chinese deputies have removed the limit of 2 presidential terms. It is the coronation of China's strongest man, thanks to a cult of personality. In this antiques market in Beijing, the cult of personality around Mao Zedong remains intact, 40 years after the death of the great helmsman. But now on the stalls, we also find busts of the effigy of Xi Jinping.
There are a lot of people interested. We do that because we respect him. He's the great man of our time. He won the hearts of the people.
Today, President Xi Jinping is also present on posters, cups, and plates.
We put him in our houses to protect our home and bring good fortune.
Xi Jinping, a lucky charm president, the most popular since Mao. The Chinese even call him Xi Dada, Uncle Xi.
I think this nickname is a sign of respect. He governs well.
I love him. I think that his policy for the country is very good and good for the people.
The Chinese president has forged his leadership in China by strengthening his position with the press.
That's selling well. I already sold everything, and this copy is the last one.
Beijing's leader regularly appears on the front page of every newspaper and in every news item. The writer Mu Rong Chutsun, whose books are banned by mainland China, notes this overwhelming presence.
Here on the front page, the big title is Xi Jinping, blah, blah, blah. I do not even want to read anymore. And he is also there just below. In recent years, hardly a day goes by without Xi's photo in official newspapers.
All media outlets are under orders. In 2016, he visited the editorial offices of the Chinese media. He received a triumphant welcome. He even sat down in an editor's seat.
Thanks to this propaganda machine, he is not only the political leader of the country, but also the mayor of thought and the idol of the people. He's a model of morality. In fact, it's like he's a god.
The press often echoes the president's ultra-nationalist program. This is Xi Jinping's Chinese dream. Under his presidency, patriotism has been exacerbated. Military power reaffirmed. Xi Jinping does not hesitate to stage himself as chief of the armies launched to conquer the world. His goal, to restore the image of China. This theory of the Chinese dream was first written about by a former colonel of the Red Army. He is betting on the decline of the United States to make Xi Jinping and China the masters of the world.
What is the Chinese dream? To sum it up, it's the rebirth of the Chinese nation. First, China has to go beyond the United States economically, and that will be done very quickly. Then at the level of values, China will pass before the United States, and it will be the Chinese values that will dominate the world.
Before becoming, perhaps, the master of the world, Xi Jinping has emerged as the undisputed leader of China by eliminating its opponents and by deciding the role of civil society. Since taking office, Xi Jinping has been campaigning for anti-corruption. This has made him popular and has also allowed him to eliminate his political opponents. No more competition within the party, and no more space for dissident voices inside the civil society. While Xi Jinping has opened the way to a presidency for life, this famous dissident is worried about a drift towards authoritarianism.
China today is a scary country. It's run with ideology and weapons. With this change, Xi Jinping will further strengthen control over its officials. The purpose of the modification of the constitution is to appropriate all power. Thanks to this monopoly, he can take all kinds of measures to control society. The regime is becoming like North Korea.
Since the change of the constitution, a photo montage has circulated on Chinese social media. Xi Jinping's portrait replaced Mao's portrait at the entrance of the Forbidden City in Beijing, an image that was quickly censored. You can't joke with the new emperor of China.